Every time I've come out of a breakdown, and particularly this one, I feel like a new person, a new beginning, a renewal. I feel more empowered, and that hopefully reflects within these paintings. I really feel the strength and the sort of the renewal and the movement I've done from stepping away from Impressionism and moving into abstract Impressionism. My name's Scarlett Raven and I'm an abstract Impressionist painter. So prior to this, I'd had 4 nervous breakdowns, and I didn't know that I got the diagnosis for this 5th breakdown, which was OCD. And at Christmas this year, I did a giveaway and I got hacked. And I found out that 250,000 people a day get hacked on Facebook. But within a week, I was calling the police, telling them that I was terrified, I was about to kill myself and I needed help. And I got put into a hospital and they told me about my diagnosis, they told me about OCD. And one of the big things that stayed with me is the doctor said, painting, I've been painting since a child, and with the diagnosis found out that I've had it since I was 7, so for 30 years. I'd always used painting as a form of therapy to help, but what I didn't know that it was a compulsion, it was in fact OCD itself. And I knew that if I was going to get out of this, well, a breakdown usually lasts for me a year and a half, and I'm a mother of 2, I couldn't afford that. So I just knew that I had to go straight into painting. However bad I felt, I had to go into that studio and I had to paint my way and act my way out of this breakdown. Yeah, this collection of paintings is called Beyond the Surface, and the titles of each of the paintings are emotions or attributes of people with mental health. And I think it's really important for me to say that I really don't feel like people who have mental health problems are, the biggest thing they would feel is that they're a failure or an outsider, and to me they're not. And I wanted the titles of these paintings to show how incredible that they are. You know, hope, resilience, strength, these are the names of the titles of the paintings, and they're all attributes of people suffering from mental health, and they're incredibly brave, and there's beauty in having a mind that works differently. There's nothing to be ashamed of. These paintings being completely white I feel like it's a really important part of my journey, my career, my life, and the way I see things. At my foundation year at St Martin's, I was really inspired by abstract art, and I painted a huge white. So when I was 19, a huge white painting made of plaster, and I just bashed it open like it was an open wound. And abstract art has really always imprinted on me, and I've always wanted to do it within my career. And just right now has been the right time, just particularly because of the heavy emotive subject matter. I've always used landscapes and nature to be symbolic of human emotion and humanity. I would have thought the absence of colour in these paintings, and colour is something that I've always lent on, and I always, colour's been so important to me. To just deduct that, I think, has made these paintings even louder. You know, you'd think they'd be silent, but they seem even more proud, and they exist. They're showing how that they exist in this beautiful way that I didn't realise at the time, and I think they're showing strength that I didn't realise that I had at the time either. My canvases, I usually work from the floor. I like being on my knees, and like the tactileness and the physicality of it is really important to me, like putting your whole weight into the canvas. It mirrors being in the garden and planting seeds and digging out the earth and being with nature. The act of painting, I knew that I had to do it, so I went into the studio, and I couldn't listen to the radio, I couldn't listen to music or songs that I'd previously liked. I played classical piano, I just needed movement and sound. And I also needed to completely disregard colour, and I started painting white paintings, just texturally, and every day I just built it up and built it up, and all this pain and disgust that I had within myself, you would think would have carried through within the paintings, but to my surprise they haven't, and to me they're just beautiful, and they have all, I really see that darkness and light and aggression and fear and beauty and happiness and love and hate, they're all intertangled, and I really see that in these emotive paintings. Mind are doing a campaign called No Mind Left Behind, and to me that means that every mind is beautiful, every mind is exceptional, and we should celebrate how different each of ours is. It's so important to me to support a charity like mine, because I really think without charities like mine, without specifically Mind, I don't think I'd be here. I have had 5 nervous breakdowns, and during my first nervous breakdown, I think it was about the same time that Stephen Fry was an ambassador for Mind. It was the only forum that you could see people having mental health problems and it being okay and celebrated, and finding a group of people that were like-minded. And the combination of Stephen Fry and Mind was amazing to me, and something, videos I would watch in my deepest despair, just not feeling alone. So Mind, particularly as a mental health charity, means a lot to me. It's really significant. Throughout my experience with having mental health problems and the 5 nervous breakdowns I've had, and having OCD since I was 7, untamed, and being able to eat away at my self-belief, I still wouldn't change having this problem. I don't see it as a problem. The luxury that I have to be able to paint and feel that good and feel that present, I wouldn't ever want that to be taken away. I think that people are different, and I think that that's beautiful. And I don't see them. I know how painful things can be, but I feel really excited about celebrating how different people are and how people's minds are different and people feel differently, and celebrating that. With every original piece from this collection, a donation will be made to Mind to help them in the incredible work that they do. My work has always reflected on my life. It's always been a documentation of what was going on in my life. Like I Am Reborn, when I had children, and this collection couldn't be any more personal to me and my life. It documented my breakdown and my healing from it. 4 or 5 months of using painting to heal, using painting to save me, and now being able to show people